Thanks, Javi. Well, I still can't believe my name is mentioned in the same sentence as Upton Sinclair, Veronica Gutierrez, Kathy Blumenfield, Albert Berger, and Ron Yerxa. I definitely know I can't hold a candle to Javier Stauring, who has been my guide, mentor, and hero since I've been walking through the prisons. Thank you, Javier. When I first started teaching the kids in juvenile hall, I faced the first of many what would Javier do moments. When one of my favorite kids, Chris Murray, called me sobbing from the holding cell behind the courtroom to tell me that he just received 2 life sentences at 15 years old. 1 life sentence wasn't enough, so they gave him 2. As a new volunteer, I had no clue what to say or how to comfort or give hope to a child in a situation where virtually all hope has been extinguished. Chris asked me to meet him in juvenile hall that night when the sheriff's bus dropped him off, so I sped out of Warner Brothers and to Sylmar Juvenile Hall, quite a contrast, and called Javier and asked him what to say in this situation, and Javier replied, "It isn't what to say, it's the power of presence." He told me to be present with Chris, listen, and let him know that you will never leave his side. I am indebted to the lessons of Javier, Father Mike Kennedy, and Sister Janet Harris. These are the heroes that spend day and night in correctional facilities and are personally responsible for thousands of youth becoming the people that God intended them to be. I would like to defer some of my time so you can hear from the real experts, the young men and women of the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, AARC, where now currently 160 members have made a lifetime commitment to help those in need, be of service to their communities, and never return to prison. Representing AARC, please give a warm round of applause for Julio Acosta.
Good evening, my name is Julio Acosta. My transformation began when I stopped drinking back in prison in 1997. My life got better when I got sober. When I met Scott, I was a college clerk in Ironwood State Prison. I had already served 20 years, and I was working in a college program that was quickly running out of gas. Scott quickly revitalized our program, and it is still going strong to this day. I have been home for a year. Today, I am a paid intern at AARC, and I will start as a junior this fall at Cal State Dominguez Hills with a major in mathematics. Thank you.
Please welcome the beautiful and impressive Eshay Jackson.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eshay Jackson. I'm absolutely honored to be here speaking on the behalf of those who have been absolutely instrumental in my evolution. My mentors, Todd Rubenstein and Susan Kaskuna of IOW, really validated me outside of my South Central existence and encouraged me to tap into my potential. I graduated from the foster care system to the juvenile detention system, but it was with much diligence and an infallible support system that I'm now graduating from the University of Southern California. And it is too because of the influence that they have exercised over my life that I am too an advocate for change.
My first student when he was 15-year-old in juvenile hall who gave me a lot of headaches, Ramon Escobar.
Thank you for having me tonight. Like I said, my name is Ramon Escobar. Actually, I was 14, Scott. When I met Scott, as he said, I was an incarcerated 14-year-old, lost in the lifestyle of gangs, violence, and drugs. Through my trek in the criminal justice system throughout the following years, one person's guidance, one person's love, one person's commitment made him that older brother I never had, the mentor I always needed, and the role model I always wanted. Presently, I am a student a father, a youth advocate, a mentor, a full-time employee in a law firm. But most of all, I stand in front of you today, not as a boy, but as a man, because it took that one person to believe in me, the true me, and not judge me by the book or the cover that I was giving at that time, but by the kid that I was. I love you, bro. Thank you.
And so I wanted to point out, too, that both Ramon and Eshe, the last two that came up, I was one of many people in their life, but Todd Rubenstein, a partner at Morris Yorn Law Firm, who's sitting right back there, hired both of them, and they're both doing an incredible job at his firm. Thank you, Todd. Next up, Mr. James Anderson.
My name is James Anderson, and at a young age, I had to accept the harsh reality that the love and care I so desperately needed for my family was never going to come. I soon fell into a negative lifestyle and realized there was no future. The only thing I could see for myself was a shattered vision of what I considered my destiny, which was bars and chains, to the point where I actually believed I was going to spend the rest of my life behind prison bars because that was where I belonged here in society. I was a kid that everyone pointed at and said, he's never going to change, forget about him. But I stand before you today because someone said, you are worth something and you can change. And they gave me the inspiration to move forward. I now stand before you, a full-time employee for the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, a future UCLA student, and a young man who's been given the privilege and honor to travel the country speaking, to spread a message of hope, and to help remind everyone to never underestimate the power that one person has to ignite the power of change.
He's only been out of prison for 12 days. Please welcome Kent Mendoza.
Hi everybody, my name is Ken Mendoza, and when I was young, I lived my life constantly putting myself in danger through the gang-related activities I was putting myself into. I abused of drugs without limitation, and I was hurting my family. During my incarceration, I developed the thirst for change when I met Scott Budnick. He gave me the acknowledgement I always wanted in my life and inspired me to change and pursue the righteous path in life. It has been 12 days, like he said, since I've been out, and today I want to pursue a higher education by going to college and finding a professional career. And that's it. Thank you.
And last but not least, Mr. Alton Petrie.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Upton Sinclair, and as a youth, I was involved in a gang and eventually fell victim to the injustices of my society. I got locked up, facing life for a crime that I did not commit. While incarcerated, I met a mentor and inside our writing teacher named Matthew Mizell, who helped solidify my love for writing. Post my release, I pursued journalism at Los Angeles Valley College, and I was just recently accepted to Morehouse College. Thank you.
These men and women would not have this support group if it wasn't for the Liberty Hill Foundation, who allowed us to start a donor-advised fund and start our first fundraising. Special thanks goes out to Dr. Bob Ross and the California Endowment, who was our first funder, and then Julio Marcial at the California Wellness Foundation, and Jeannie Balfour at the Hilton Foundation, who allowed us to get started. The mission of AARC is twofold. First, to provide support services and a support group for young people coming home. And second, to train our members to advocate for fair and just laws and policies. We had an incredible victory, as Javier mentioned last year, with SB 260, a bill to help 6,500 of our sons and daughters in prison who received life sentences for crimes they committed as children. We're alongside the incredible Elizabeth Calvin of Human Rights Watch, sitting right here. Our general, it was not me, it was our members behind me and the 140 others that stormed the Capitol in coats and ties, telling their stories of who they were, their transformation, and who they are now. The bill passed with enormous bipartisan support, probably for the first time ever, and the governor signed it the moment it hit his desk. Now, when we walk through the prisons, we meet thousands of young people who once thought they would die behind bars and are now told that with positive choices and decisions, they are coming home. And if you remember Chris Murray from earlier, who received 2 life sentences, we were able to do more than just be present for him. We changed the law so that now every day when he wakes up, he knows that one day he will be walking out of prison into his mother Mayna's arms. This month, we embark on a major housing initiative where we begin a pilot program housing 25 AARC members in a supportive environment in partnership with a local community college. We'll combine that with a new trauma initiative where we have trained therapists working with our kids in a familial living environment. I'd like to invite everybody in this room to partner with us, whether via your expertise in real estate, expertise in trauma therapy, or if you're just willing to be a mentor and guide to our youth and young adults. You will be coming in on the ground floor, and your support will make a tremendous difference. I want to say I love you to my girlfriend, Serena, and my son, Trey, sitting right down there. And I want to thank Liberty Hill again for this incredible award and for work you have done to make California a safer, healthier, and more equitable home for our children. Thank you and good night.